We've been on this planet for 100,000 years, if you believe in science. I mean, and if you believe in what the Indians say, they say we've been around the block 4 times. Okay. You get what I'm saying? And we've been here 100,000 years. If you go by science, they tell you it's been around a lot longer than that, but at least that long. And we have finished our physical evolution. It took us 100,000 years to finish our physical evolution. We're not getting no more fingers. We're not getting no more toes. We can run fast, a mile faster than 4 minutes. We're not going anymore. Okay, we're done. It took us 100,000 years of evolution to finish our physical evolution. And we're doing pretty good. Okay. We have masters of our body. And for those who disagree, you should just watch those Olympics. Oh my gosh, they're out of here. They're doing a lot of things. Okay. But for some strange reason which science cannot understand, we still can't do 52 times 38 in our head. Our brain is the world's strongest, most powerful computer, but for some reason that thing doesn't work. Okay. Because, and science even admit, we only use 10% of our brain. So we have finished with physical evolution. If we survive for the next 100,000 years, we're going to be going over mental evolution. This is fascinating. But before we can get into this, we're going to take a diversion and get into deep Gnostic thought. We really don't, I'm a Gnostic, but we really don't discuss Gnostic thought that often because it's too weird and too deep. But today we have to. Okay. Because Gnostics believe different from most groups. Most groups believe that we was created directly by God and we are perfect beings and we was created perfectly. Okay. And then Adam and Eve screwed it up. Gnostics do not believe that. That's mind blowing. Gnostics believe that all of lower creation was created by lesser beings. And these beings, yes, they are very smart, but they're not perfect. They make mistakes. They have error. And if you read the Urantia book, or if you read my book, you can get it from Amazon, Beyond the Stars, there's a whole chapter talking about this, that talk about beings and their degrees of perfection. And as you move further and further away from God, you get into less and less degrees of perfection. In fact, man don't even have a degree of perfection. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Okay. We have a degree of semi perfection, but we do not have a degree of perfection. But some of these beings way up there do. And they're super, super intelligent. That's why they know how to, they're working on the big stuff. See, at first you have free will. We talked about life on earth is the third grade, but there's a lot of things once you finish life on earth you can graduate to. You know, we are into, we're still in that diversion. We're into trying to control our free will. And if you want to get out of the third grade, you have to learn how to control your free will before you can enter spiritual life. Because we're spirit creatures living a physical existence. The reason why our spirit bodies is not turned on and our conscious uh, or our speck of living energy is not fused to our spiritual body, it's fused to our physical brain, is because they don't know if we can be trusted or not. Okay. Animals that can't control their free will, we lock in cages. People that can't control their free will, we lock in cages too, called jails and prisons. Okay. We all have crazy thoughts. You have to learn to control your craziness. But Lynn, what did this have to do with what we're supposed to be talking about today? I'm going to get to that. Because once you leave here and start going to the fourth grade and higher, angels have something called power. The lower angels have collective power. That's why they work in circles. Warrior angels work in sets of three. Archangels work by themselves. First, you have collective power, then you get into individual power. But before they give you power, they have to know if you can control yourself. Okay. Then, after you get finished with power and you can control power, then you get into creative energy after that. This is what the most higher beings are doing. They are creating things. The lower ones are creating things collectively. But the higher beings are creating things individually. They're the ones who run space itself, uh, everything. Behind the physical, there is these force, these creatures, these beings. Okay. Now, some of those creatures are behind our creation. They're the ones who assist. And they're now working on our mental evolution. But these creatures are not perfect. This is why you got galaxies running into each other and things like that, because they calculated it out and they're 99.9% right. But when you're doing something that's going to be around for billions of years, even if you're off by 1/100th of a billion degree, over billions of years, they crash. Those galaxies crash. And it's like, oops, I erred. Okay. And with us, we're not even dealing with beings that's high. We are being changed one thing piece at a time. And this is what these kids are all about. Now, we talked before about our replacements. Now, they was doing two things on a dual track. They was working on our replacements in case we didn't work out, the Black Eyed Kids, and they started working on our future evolution if we did make it. And they pushed the first button. Now, how are they changing us? Okay. I will going to go and talk about something that is extremely controversial and extremely scary. Okay. Remember, when it's your time to play the video game called Life on Earth, you enter the dark tunnel and you end up in your mother's tummy. And when you finish playing the video game called Life on Earth and you die, your body dies, your avatar no longer works, the tunnel opens and you're beckoned to go back upstairs into the land of light. It's not heaven, it's just upstairs. Okay. Now, how do we get here? When an avatar is created, you know how avatars are created. We're not talking birds and bees here. But when avatars are created, it's just cells. It's just a fetus. This is why they talk about trimesters. At the 6 months or the second trimester, going into the third trimester, is when you have the download. Okay. And that is how you go from that side to this side. And they download you into your physical body. Okay. That's the reason a baby go from being if you kill a lady who is 4 months pregnant or 3 months pregnant, you get charged with, if you kill her, you charged with one murder. If you kill a lady that's 6, 8 months pregnant and you kill her, you charge with double murder. Because the download have already occurred. They are now playing with the download. They are not abducting people to alter them. They're altering people. They're altering the download.